All right. The King of Swords being the overall. This, for me, has the feeling of emotional availability is an issue. So now this could definitely be about the person that you're dealing with here. Now, when you're looking at the King of Swords, we're also talking about somebody who is very logical, right? But somebody who is needing to make a decision, but I think it has to do with emotional availability. And a lot of that, I think, is because of the King of Cups showing up. So you come into this with the Ace of Cups there showing the world. Something has come to a close in their life, right? So they may have gotten closure on some kind of issue from the past, but what it's doing here is creating an opportunity between the two of you with the Ace of Cups to either start the relationship or start it again, especially if you have history with this person not being emotionally open or available to you. But there's definitely this new beginning here, but it's because of a major chapter that's closing in their life in a successful way. It's a good thing, right? Now, even though the Ace of Cups is there with Temperance, I feel like you are not wanting to be too quick when it comes to immediately getting involved with them. Let's just step back for a minute, because whatever you have experienced with this person in the past, especially if you were waiting on them to close something out, I get the sense that you're I just need to get my equilibrium back here before I want to start this with you, because this is something that you've been waiting for them to finally take care of, and they have. That's what I'm getting here. And that may be why the King of Swords is the overall. They, needed to make some serious decisions in their life to take care of something. But we're also talking about you, though, with this being the overall, in terms of, your own emotional availability to this person, especially if they kept you in a place of waiting. Taurus, I want you to wait until I get control over this or close this chapter out or whatever with the world. Now, moving into the Four of Swords in the King of Cups. Now, before that, let me address the Sun here. So with the Sun, this is them, I think, wanting to bring life to the relationship. The Sun for me is something good, right? It's about seeing things very clearly, yes, seeing things under the light of the sun, but it's also about new energy. And I don't think that this is drainage, because they come out of the world with the Sun now I get to focus on, my sense of direction, my sense of self, the Sun, right? But I also think that it's them trying to breathe life into, the relationship, which is why we're looking at the Ace of Cups. But there is something that they're wanting to show you about themselves, specifically having to do with what they finally closed out with the world. Now, going back to emotional availability with the King of Cups, I feel like that is them, and they are trying to become more open to you, but I feel like you are not necessarily shutting down and not wanting to talk to this person, but there are things that have not been discussed. And I think that with Temperance, you have tried to keep the peace about it. But I think that there are things that this person is not talking about that you feel like there needs to be a discussion on it. And I say that because you come out with a Queen of Swords. If you feel like you've made the right decision, and this is Taurus talking to the other person, if you feel like you finally made the right decision in closing out something and you want to breathe life into this relationship and you want to be emotionally available, there are some things that we need to discuss. Because the thing is even though this person is making major decisions in their life and they're trying to be logical about things with the Seven of Cups, they're not really doing anything to take the relationship to where you guys can see it. Because I always look at the Seven of Cups, and this is one of the reasons why I love this deck. Look at the both of them. They have plans, and they can see it. They can see that castle in the sky. There it is. What is your plan? How are we going to get there? How are we going to do this? But we're still talking about fantasy. So with the Queen of Swords, this is where I feel like you are wanting to really discuss with this person, where do you think the relationship is going to go? Where do you see things going? And if you see it that way, and if you have a plan, why are you not acting? But with the Chariot, the issue there may be the distance between the two of you, especially if we're talking about moving, like literally needing to move to where this person is or them moving to you, whatever the case may be. But the Chariot is also about, if they're trying to show you that they're in control of their emotions and they're wanting to be available, this may be them like showing that they have control now, that they want to pick up the pace with the relationship. But, with the Chariot, right, distance comes up with this, and the travel and the moving, right, making a big move, momentum, but then again, what I worry about is because of you being the Queen of Swords and then looking at the Seven of Cups, do you think that this person is being pulled in two different directions? All right. But this, I think, has to do with the other person and what we need to talk about here, because I feel like it's not so much that, how do I put this? Like, I don't think that you're going to have to deal with any kind of deception in the future with this person. I think that this is something that has been weighing on you that we need to talk about, because I don't think that they have been directly honest with you about some things having to do with why they were stuck in the first place and what they needed to get closure on. Okay? So with the Page of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords, we're not playing games anymore. We need to have a serious conversation about what the plan is, especially if you're wanting to pick up the pace here. But if you're wanting to build things, we can't do that if you are still very mentally stuck on something else. That's what I feel like Taurus is communicating to this other person. But I think that for them, it's really about them getting out of a situation where they were stuck. But mentally, I feel like they're still there, and it's not being talked about. Now, with the Ten of Pentacles and then looking at the Seven of Pentacles, right, I think that this person is really, I can't look past the Chariot, because I feel like they want to feel like they're in control of, their plans here in terms of the direction of the relationship. But the thing is they're looking back at, like, it kind of has a judgment type of feel, but not. But like, they're looking back at everything that they have to show for being connected with you and having to deal with this situation. Is it worth continuing to invest in? The Chariot would say yes, but the thing is that I think mentally there is very much a part of this person that's still very focused on what they just completed out. Even though it's over, it's successful, it's done, it shouldn't have anything to do with you and where the relationship is going. It's still something that I think that they think about. And for you, you know this. It's like this. But these are the things that are like weighing on you. You want to have a serious conversation with this person in terms of, are they really like clear about what they want to do, where they want to go when it comes to you, especially if there are big plans. Looking at this in the Chariot. Big plans to move, big plans to have this security and stability with the relationship, because for you, this is like, it needs to be long-term, right? But for them, they're looking at, is it something that I can invest into? And I don't think that they want to discuss how they think and feel about what they had to go through or what needed to be completed out. Like, I'm being directed right back to this. But it's weighing on you, this idea of, I'm not really sure what this person's intentions are. Are they really over it? Are they really over it? Because they were really stuck with it, and mentally more so than actually physically being stuck. Because they're not anymore, but their mind is, and they need to make a serious decision here. But I don't doubt that they have feelings for you, and that's the thing, because of the King of Cups, right? Whether it's male, female, you got air, you got water, it doesn't matter to me. You got Sag showing up, you know what I mean? Cancer. But I would say that if we can let this go, and they can, let their issues go, then there's no reason why this can't pick up momentum. But this is iffy, Taurus. This is really iffy for me. There needs to be a serious conversation about what this person actually wants to do. Do they want to move toward you? Do you want to move toward them? Do they really want to, take this relationship in the right direction? But you know about what this is. You know about what they needed to get closure on, but mentally, I think they're still struggling with it. And I think that that's what's weighing on you with the 10 of Wands. All right. So paying attention to the red flags, this could be about issues with this person, okay? Because what I feel like is happening here is that somebody is wanting to start something with you again. But the thing is like, what I worry about here with the 8 of Wands is I don't know that they want to take the relationship to where it needs to go or where it should have went in the past, if that makes sense. Because I feel like for a lot of you, this is going to be about, somebody who is wanting to start over with you. Now, for some of you, absolutely, this could be about somebody new, and you need to pay attention to, what's going on with this person, because I feel like their feelings are tied in somewhere else. Okay. And that's only going to be for some of you. So the Ace of Cups is going to be the new beginning. But with the 8 of Wands, we're just savoring the moment, enjoying the time that we have together. Is the relationship going to advance to the next level? That remains to be seen with the 8 of Wands for me, because I look at the ladder in the background and think maybe it could, maybe it won't. But all we're doing right now is just enjoying what's going on. With the Page of Pentacles, we're talking about a relationship that goes sour, or someone who is bitter. But with the Star, we're talking about trying to heal that. So for those of you who are dealing with an ex that wants to start things over with you, it may be that they are trying to heal where the relationship soured or went bad, or any kind of bitterness or anything that, either you or the other person are harboring. It's like we want to heal that with the Star. With the 6 of Swords, we're talking about bridging the distance that may have been created because of this between the two of you. I mean, besides having sex in weird places, right? Being more adventurous. But the 4 of Swords being there says to me that somebody can't force themselves to feel something, right? Because this is like, I want to have this connection, but I just don't feel it. And I can't force myself to do it. So that may be you if we're talking about an ex. Now, if this is a new person, you need to pay attention to the red flag that maybe this is somebody who is not going to try to have, an emotional connection with you, because they may still be focused on the damage that they've already experienced, whether or not they want to get back together with their ex. But I think that an ex is an issue either way. All right. So what was interesting to me with the Knight of Pentacles here is I almost feel like if this is you, Taurus, this is you going, yeah, that's great and all. And sure, we could have this emotional connection, but I don't know that I really want to do that. And instead, you're just kind of enjoying whatever time you do have with this person. It doesn't have to be physical. It could just be I enjoy being your friend. I enjoy hanging out with you, things like that, because of the Knight of Pentacles. But this is I don't really need this. But the thing is you do kind of get involved. Okay. But I don't think that it's something serious at all. And I do think that you know about this person's history. If this is a person that is new to you in terms of wanting to have a relationship, you know about their ex, you know about what they have dealt with in the past. But with the 5 of Wands, somebody is peeking in on the relationship. Somebody is definitely trying to heal some issues with the Star, for sure. But they're still very focused on an ex. Seriously. And I don't think it's Taurus. I think Taurus knew about this and came into it as, yeah, I don't really want that offer from you, but I don't mind being around you, because I know you're still hooked on somebody else. You may be bitter about it, but you're still watching this person. It's almost like you're getting involved with somebody who's purposely wanting to make their ex feel jealous by being involved with you, if that makes sense. Because the Queen of Swords coming out, the thing is if they really try to like have the distance between the two of you, you know, how do I put this? It's like they realize that their concentration on their ex is causing distance between the two of you, and they're wanting to like correct that, I think would be the best way to put it. But they can't force themselves to feel anything, and neither can you. But it's because they're still very much focused on how they've been hurt, which is why they're still looking in on the relationship. Now, absolutely, this could be Taurus, right? But I don't see it that way, because you're being told to pay attention to the red flags about this person. Now, if this is about an ex that's wanting to start over with you, they are focused on somebody else and not necessarily you. And if that's the case, you are going to be fucking pissed in the end because of that Queen of Swords. And that's just me being honest. Okay, you come into this with the Five of Pentacles. This is the classic romance. You know, it's really a sweet card. It is. But what I worry about here because of the Queen of Wands is if only one person is feeling this way. Because the Queen of Wands to me is somebody who is not exposing all of themselves. They're not, you know, fully like giving everything that they possibly could to, you know, this romance. Now, that though is because of the Four of Wands. Somebody is not taking a relationship seriously. This is, we're just having fun. Everything is lighthearted. We're just having a good time. But with the Eight of Cups, we're talking about somebody who is being like, I don't want to say like super pushy, but they want more. They want more, but somebody is not giving that. The other person isn't giving that. So Taurus, if this is about you feeling, you know, like this is such a great romance, the person that you are involved with doesn't really, you know, see it the way that you do. I think that they don't, to them, they're just having fun. Now, we could flip the script on this and it could be Taurus. Like, I'm just having a good time here, and what you're wanting is something that I can't exactly give you. But either way, somebody is not taking the relationship seriously, and another person is wanting more and they're not getting it. And what I don't like is the High Priestess, because we're talking about secrets that lead to a really painful ending with the Ten of Swords. All right. This, and again, and I'm going to say it again, if you are happy in your relationship, this is not for you. Something happened. Something happened between you and your partner. And with Judgment, we're trying to clear it out. We're trying to get rid of it. We're trying to clear that shit out. The Three of Cups is about mending the broken heart. And that is what somebody is wanting, right? But another person is not giving it with the Eight of Cups. They're not fully giving themselves. They're not fully giving someone what they need to fix where their heart has been broken, because they're still very much like wrapped up in the romance of the relationship. And again, that could be you or the other person, but somebody is not taking it seriously. But there are secrets about some things that somebody did that was only based on lust and immediate satisfaction with the devil, right? And is that enough to cause the relationship to be over with for you? Like, oh my God, I had no idea the extent of what actually happened, because with Judgment you close the door on it, but does it come out though because of the High Priestess, right? Like, fuck, man, Taurus, this shit's serious. And I don't like it because it feels predictive. Like, I don't think that you knew, I don't think that you had any idea of the extent of the shit that was actually happening. Because the thing is that there is romance between you and this person. There is. You feel it. You feel that connection. I have romantic feelings here. And I think that they do too. I don't want to discredit that on their part. But I think that because of Judgment, you were too quick to look past some things and just want to shut the door on it. But something definitely did happen, but I don't know that you knew the extent of it. And there is very much a possibility that this relationship could come to an end. But I look at worth waiting for, and I think that if you're wanting somebody to be more serious about, giving you what you need to mend where your heart has been broken, I think that if you gave it time, you may be able to work through this. But let me just say to you, Taurus, though, if the extent of what has happened in the past is too much for you, then maybe what worth waiting for is saying that it's worth waiting for, something better, something that's more worthy of you. But that's up to you if you feel like this is something that you just can't look past, especially if somebody is cheated, has been lying to you with the devil, right?